Last week, a Melbourne man, Yak Dut, walked free from a Victorian jail, having served just 18 months for bashing two female police officers and then threatening to hunt them down and kill them. He boasted to police, "I will get away with anything because I'm black. I will play the race card." See, there, Dut was counting on people to excuse him just for being black. Now think about that. That's a message that this thug got from whatever, the culture, play the race card. And why wouldn't he think that when so many people, I mean powerful people, people in the media are playing this race card too, playing it to avoid the criticism or punishment they or the people they're defending would get if they were white. You know, it used to be a joke, this kind of thing. The joke that white Jewish comedian Sacha Baron Cohen famously used to riff on with his character Ali G, a blinged-up hood who played that race card too whenever someone tried to hold him to account, say by kicking this hood out of Parliament.
Want to know how I make this country better? It's simple. 2 words. Keep it real.
That's 3 words.
Don't be a spanner. It ain't a real word. It's short for innit. Keep it real.
The member for Staines will be banned from the House.
Is it because I is black?
That was his catch cry. Is it because I is black? But what was a joke then, say, 15 years ago, is now deadly serious. Last week, for instance, this very thing was used to defend Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, and her husband, Prince Harry, after the couple were caned in the media as shameless global warming hypocrites. And they were the hypocrites. They'd been lecturing us that global warming was such a catastrophe that they'd have just 2 children to spare the planet. And then they flew off on private jets 4 times in 11 days to go goofing off on the Mediterranean. Just think of all those emissions. And to make them look even worse, Prince William and wife Kate Middleton were then snapped flying economy in a budget flight to Scotland, with Prince William even carrying his own bags. So, Harry and Meghan Markle deserved all the mockery they got for their hypocrisy. But their defenders pulled out that race card, that Ali G act, you know, is it because they is black? Actress Jameela Jamil, star of The Good Place, for instance, tweeted that the critics were just racist. Dear England and English press, she wrote, just say that you hate her because she's black and him for marrying a black woman. I mean, really? Do most people even consider Meghan Markle as of a different race? Do they hate her for that, seriously? But right there, you see how this works? Someone plays that Ali G card, well, suddenly the talk is about racism, real or usually imagined, and it's not about whatever we're trying to debate, global warming, hypocrisy or whatever. And you see this so often. For instance, if you criticise AFL star Adam Goodes for picking on some poor 13-year-old girl at the football who rudely called him an ape, if you criticise them for calling her on national TV the face of Australian racism, even after she'd been publicly marched out of the stadium and threatened with criminal charges, well, guess what? Ali G card. We weren't really criticising Adam Goodes for being way too hard on a 13-year-old girl. We were, media critics said, we were just attacking him because he was black. Racists. Now, this stupidity is unfortunately very common now. You know, a Rasmussen poll last month in the United States found that 1/3 of Democrat voters on the left, if asked, said it was racist for a white politician to criticise the political views of a politician of colour. Criticise a black politician for wanting to destroy the economy and you're racist. Criticise an Asian one for defending a tyranny and you're a racist too. And sadly, that last example is no longer hypothetical, not in Australia. Now, as you know, I'm not the only one. I've warned about the growing threat from China, a very aggressive, very powerful totalitarian state. And it's got its tentacles deep here in Australia too. And Australians are now waking up to this threat. Today, for instance, we had anti-corruption hearings by ICAC in Sydney into political donations in Australia by people close to the Chinese regime. But some of our universities, they have been in denial. You see, I think they've been blinded by the billions that they earn from all their Chinese students, 10% of the student population now. They're so greedy that they also take China's money and its orders for their 14 Confucius Institutes in a university teaching Chinese culture. It's incredible how blind these universities have been. One even had a professor co-author research with Chinese generals linked to China's nuclear weapons program. And today, we read that Queensland University is now investigating claims that one of its professors formed an artificial intelligence company allegedly used by China to spy on minority Uyghurs in their country. And you've got to remember here, China has put up to 1 million of these Muslim Uyghurs in re-education centres. Yet in response to these and similar concerns about Chinese influence in universities, one Vice-Chancellor, Sydney University's Michael Spence, on the weekend he played the Ali G card too. Can you believe this? He said, we have to be careful that the whole debate doesn't have overtones of the White Australia policy. White Australia policy. And to rub in that, insult, racists, Spence said it would be a bad university that educated just Anglo-Saxons Australians and a few Commonwealth students, as if any commentator has ever suggested anything of that racist sort. But you got the message there. If you worry about another totalitarian regime that happens to be China, well, we're white Australian racists. And we only worry because they are Chinese. You see how this RDG tactic is used to stifle debate, hijack it? Once it was a joke, now that tactic is a danger.